to have my friend Mariah here today. She has a really incredible business called the Fantasy Box, and we're going to talk about that a little bit because when she and I were talking recently, we came up with this fun idea of a way to use the 10 swirl heart and a way to have that support our relationships and intimacy. And so we're going to talk about that in a quick second. But what's also fun is that just recently, as in last few days, I have now completed my first free mini course that I'm offering to y'all. It's called Progress Mapping 101. And it's an opportunity for anybody to learn about progress mapping. There's a series of short videos, and you sign up for free at mapyourprogress.com. You can have access to the whole course. You can do it one little piece at a time or all in one sitting, which takes probably about 45 minutes. And I walk you through everything. And as part of that, you get this map, the 10 swirl heart. It's a free download. And so you can go and get this map and then do what Mariah and I are going to talk about here. So yeah, it's fun. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So why don't you just introduce yourself real quick and kind of let everybody know what you've been up to in this business that you've created.
Sure. So hi, everybody. I'm Mariah Byrne. I'm a co-founder of a company called the Fantasy Box, which is a subscription service for romantic adventures for couples. And my partner and I founded the business about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And we just kind of saw a need in the market for couples who were together and were going to be together for a long time to find a way to kind of explore and have a little bit more fun and have that delivered to their house. So they don't have to go out or look for anything or buy anything, and get instructions for how to do everything that may not, have been intuitive. And it was really actually, as Amy, as you and I discussed the other day, when we started it, we kind of thought it was going to be one of those things where we'd have, younger couples who were just sort of into having fun and trying things out. And the people who've been with us the longest, and really, some for over 3 years, are couples who are really using this to work on their relationship. And we get emails every day saying, you know what, this has really brought us together and it's brought our relationship to a whole new level. Not just in our intimate relationship, but in our entire life. We're laughing more, we're talking more, we're making more eye contact, we fight less. When we do fight, we get out of fights easier because that when you're in a routine with someone, it's really easy to forget why you're with them or what made them special or what makes your relationship unique. Yeah. And our service does a little bit to remind them and have them go on new shared adventures together. And that's actually why, of course, we're talking today, because your tools are completely applicable for couples as well to go on a journey together that they create on their own, as opposed to progress being something that just a person works on individually and then has their support system around them. So
yeah. And it was so fun when we connected those dots, because up until this point, Map Your Progress has been out in the world for about 6 months now. And most of the focus has been on individuals who are wanting to accomplish certain things in their life and, create new habits, meet financial goals, saving, paying things off and so forth. And I love this idea of using mapping in partnership with whomever in your relationship. And in the context of the Fantasy Box, it's a romantic relationship. But it doesn't have to be. It's this idea of bringing kind of a consciousness and awareness and a playfulness to the relationship and deepening the connection and the intimacy and using the mapping to be able to do that. And so more specifically, what we've been talking about is, wouldn't it be fun to come up with different, small actions, little acts of appreciation or love or fun, things that couples can do together, and then go ahead and map them. So each swirl would be representative of something that you do together. The first thing that popped into mind is, wouldn't it be sweet if you had a slow dance in the kitchen, just on a weeknight when, you're all busy, but just to take a few minutes and put on a really lovely song and just have a few minutes together and to be connected. And then, you go ahead and you color in your swirl. You could stick this up, on the refrigerator, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, and have a fun little adventure, a little game together with just these little things that you can do to deepen that connection.
Yep. And then on top of that, I love that idea. And I also, you could even write inside what you colored that swirl in for and what the date was. And I think it's a really great way, when times are hard, it's a really great visual reminder of things that you have done together, and seeing that visual trigger. It's like when you see a picture of a time that you were happy that maybe isn't top of mind for you, but you see it and you instantly remember how you felt in that moment. Seeing something that you've created together with somebody that you love and that you felt very safe or very happy or very stimulated or something that's a really intense and wonderful sensation. It's a great way to call that back, because everybody has challenges in their life. That's life. And so, living life in tandem with someone else is also can be very tricky, and finding a way to remember all of those great times. One of our favorite people runs a marriage blog called Married Man Sex Life. And one of the things he said about us was that, after 18 years of marriage, it's the memories that count, and that our service is about making memories. And I think this is a fantastic way to visually remind yourself of those memories in a really beautiful way. You can, frame it and put it on the wall. You can, you can get a huge one and put it in your bedroom. I think that's a really cool way to celebrate and actively work on your relationship with your partner. So that's what we're all about, right? We just want people to be together and to be happy and to think that they made the absolute best decision in committing to the relationship that they're in. And this is a fantastic way to celebrate it. So, our service has, we think of, kind of the intimate experiences in a range, where there are sensual experiences, which are massaging and communicating and, those more gentle moments, playful, where you're going to end up laughing, control, which is a little bit more about exaggerated control rules, and then costume, which is obviously, fantasy play. But I can see when people are coming up with their ideas about the types of things that can go into the swirls, it's also a really great way to think about the range of things that you want to experience. Do we want to have silly moments like making a fort inside the house and, sitting under it with flashlights talking to each other? Or do we want to have a deep and lingering kiss for 10 seconds? Or do we want to spend an evening in bed with our clothes on and, just really enjoying the sensations? So there's a lot of ways that you can use this as both a communication tool, I think, and a way to celebrate the progress that you make and remind you that you really need to be actively investing in your relationship every day. So I'm a huge fan of yours, obviously, and the work that you're doing. But I was really excited that we could take this to a dual session or dual purpose, as opposed to just a single person setting a goal, which is super awesome. And you can't do things without, everybody has individual goals, but I like the idea of shared relationship goals too. So.
Yeah, I'm really excited for people to try this out, and I'm so curious to hear how it goes, because I think, the vast majority of mappers at this stage are women. And, it's interesting, like hearing comments from, my husband thinks it's a little weird, or my husband thinks it's great, or, whatever, but being able to bring your partner into the process and have it be something that's fun and playful, where you're having a good time, you are creating those memories together, and just experiencing what can actually happen when you do bring the consciousness to it, the visual, the playfulness. I love what you're talking about in terms of writing in the experience and the date, because that's come up over and over again with mappers, where particularly on those days when it's not going the way we want it to go, to look up and see displayed on the wall, or, wherever you can see it on a daily basis, and go, okay, but remember that time, or look at how far I have come, or I don't feel great about it today, but look at what, we did accomplish. And so, I'm excited to see. So everybody go print out one of your 10 swirls. And have fun with this and your partner, and, make it a little date and come up with some different ideas. And I'm going to go ahead and do a blog post as well, where we can have the details and information. We'll have our conversation here and list some of the ideas that Mariah and I come up with. But sky's the limit. And I love what you said too about being intentional in terms of the type of experience you want to have together. and the different flavors and ideas that you can do together. So,
well, it's a great way to, if you haven't had the discussion about the 5 love languages, it's a super fantastic way to introduce that concept into your relationship, which is just sort of talking about how you like to have love expressed and talking about ways that you can make that material. And then, you know, just kind of setting an intention and a goal for you both to consciously work together towards having a relationship that's fulfilling for you individually and as a couple. So, you know, I think there's never anything bad that comes out of conversation, and conversation that goes directly to action, that goes directly towards a shared goal, is the best thing out there. So thank you again for creating this awesome idea. I'm really excited to share it with our Fantasy Box family. So.
Oh, the honor is mine. Like I mean, I often will refer to this as an adventure because that's truly how it feels. Is that, and when we get to have these conversations and, you know, creativity is sparked, and it's so much fun to just see how it kind of unfolds. And so I feel like there's this lovely opportunity for couples to, you know, experiment with this together and kind of see what comes of it. I agree. It's like, it's going to be good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can't wait to hear how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming by, my dear.
Absolutely. My pleasure. As always.
And yes. And so, yeah, we will be in touch. I will have some things to kind of take this further. So, yeah, thank you so much.